stand. And it seems you've been walking in a land unknown. Go to God in a place beyond your fears. God is loving you. Be still. Accept this prayer of love in your heart. Stand on the rock of those who've gone before you, and those who hold you high in glory, and those who hold you close in prayer. Stand on the truth. God is the power. God is the way. God is the answer. Accept what has been given. It's the reason why we pray. And the things that held us back will disappear. And the veil of tears won't be heavy anymore. Yes, our lives so torn apart can heal again. Trust in God, I know you will. Accept this prayer of love in your heart. Stand on the truth. God is the power. God is the way. God is the answer. Accept what has been given. It's the reason why we pray. Yes. And the things that held us back will disappear. And the veil of tears won't be heavy anymore. Yes, our life so torn apart can heal again. Trust in God, I know you will. Accept this prayer of love in your heart. Will you accept this prayer of love in your heart?
Welcome. I am Reverend GretaSesheta. This is the Sanctuary of the Spirit, and you are in the right place today because we are here praising God in the highest, allowing the Spirit of God, the presence of God, to have its way through and as us. And I'm excited. Arne is back from traveling all over the world. She has some beautiful songs to share. I have some beautiful ideas to share, and you are here. And we appreciate and love each other. Thank you so much for joining. Wherever you're joining from, whatever time it is in your life, you're welcome here. So I invite you into a moment of just centering down, a moment of centering down in the presence of God, recognizing this power and presence that is everywhere, that is good, that is for us, that only knows itself, it only knows the good that it created out of itself and called it by the names of each of us. Whatever name it is that we are called, that is what God has created for a divine and perfect purpose, and we are here fulfilling it. I'm giving thanks for this opportunity for us to join in this way, to worship, to praise, to give thanks for this magnificent life as it's unfolding. And I know that everything that we do here is to the glory of God. And I bless spiritual centers and circles and churches and mosques and temples and synagogues everywhere, knowing that there is only one loving presence by whatever name we call it. It is good, and it is here, and it is now, for and as each one of us, expressing through us as its instruments. I give thanks for this, and for all things unfolding perfectly, rightly, and well, now and always, and I just allow it to be so by saying, and so it is. Amen. Amen means, and so it is. Yes, Tanya, you're looking very pensive this morning. I'm glad you're here wherever you are. You're another world traveler. Welcome, Sylvia. Go is back. Arne is back. Arne has a beautiful offering this morning. What is it, Arne?
Yes, ma'am. Greetings, everyone. Wow. It's been a minute. I've just been on the East Coast. Not all over the world, Reverend Greta. But it has felt incredible because I have spent many Sundays in churches that were established by emancipated Black Americans. These are churches that was started in the 1860s, 1870s. These buildings are still there, and they still have congregations. I was at Harriet Tubman's church in Ontario, St. Catharines, Ontario, singing this song that I'm going to be singing for you now. I participated in an Underground Railroad concert tour, singing songs of emancipation, songs of resistance, and this was one of the favorites. We don't know the date or the composer, because it didn't work like that back then. But this was the 1850s, the war was ramping up, and the words are, "Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free when the Lord shall appear." And it's rumored as the war got closer, as the troops got closer to the South, people were calling the Lord the Yankees, because the Yankees were on their way down south. So this song is actually referenced in W.E.B. Du Bois's Souls of Black Folk, the book he published in 1903. And I reread it at the beginning of COVID, and I saw the lyrics, and I just wondered, I wonder what this song sounds like. And here it is. I'm singing it. So this is "Children, we all shall be free." Everybody, let's take a deep healing breath of gratitude. These songs are living, and they're with us now. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free when the Lord shall appear. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free when the Lord shall appear. We want no cowards in our band that from their color flies. We call for valiant-hearted men who are not afraid to die. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free when the Lord shall appear. We see the pilgrim as he lies with glory in his soul. To heaven he lifts his longing eyes and bids this world goodbye. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be to walk. He'll raise the dead from under the earth and give them permission to fly. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Yeah. Everybody. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. Children, we all shall be free. When the Lord shall appear.
That's just too much, Arne. Somebody had the heart to write that, and we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, and there were many people that would contribute, so songs would travel. And they were calling the men off of those death camps to come join the war. Mm-hmm. We want valiant-hearted men who aren't afraid to die because we know what's awaiting us. That belief was already there. Mm-hmm. So they're not scared to die. Let's go for it. Let's go.
Be buried in my grave before I'll be a slave. Yeah. Thank you, Arne. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. So grateful. Arne brings this music, and she also brings us the history and, you know, the atmosphere, the feeling, the essence of what she's singing. Just magnificent. Last week the topic was the freedom to choose. And I showed you this picture, you know, that had my mom in the background. You couldn't really see her. And just talking about the freedom that we have to choose who makes the decisions for us, what gets to be shown and what gets to be held close, and what is our opportunity to come out of the background and into the foreground of our lives. But that's really like not the end of the story. It's like the beginning of another chapter, because once you step out of the background and into center stage, you know, there needs to be something there to be seen. And that has to do with you continuing to grow into more and more of who you are. And so the topic today is the freedom to grow into and to grow towards, and to grow into our dreams and our visions and our ideals for our life. To grow through the opportunities, but also the challenges and the disappointments and the things that look like failure. The opportunity to grow with support and with guidance and with direction and protection. And the Bible says to grow in stature and favor with God. But we can't be out of favor with God, but we can grow big in our awareness of this presence, that whose we are. And this growing, it's not like a straight line. It's not like, okay, you start here and then you go there and it gets all done in a pretty little package with a ribbon on it. It's not like that. There are, you know, ups and downs and things that look like pauses and things that look like dead ends. And, oh, here I got to learn this again all over. I thought I already knew this. And I wanted to talk about, to start today with, I saw this video about this little boy that lives in Concord, North Carolina. He's 4 years old. And I put the link in the chat. You can see it. It's only like a 3-minute long video, but it is so touching and beautiful. And, but anyway, I found it. It was on CBS News. They have this segment that's called On the Road. And so they featured this little boy. And he was 4 years old. He lived with his parents, but his parents divorced. His father moved out of the state, and his grandparents already lived out of the state. And he was just a little boy that he loved to wake up in the morning and connect with people. He loved to say hi, and you know, that's really what he wanted. But when his father left and everything, he felt like, you know, the people that he wanted to be close to weren't near him anymore. And you know, he lived in this community where he and his mother didn't really know that many people. But because he always wanted to be connecting with people, he stood outside his house and he just started to wave. He would just wave to everybody that's going by, and he'd say, hey. And, you know, he would just wave to these people that he didn't know. And this man came over from across the street because he wanted to see who this little boy was and just keeps waving. And so he came over and he met him and he started talking to him. And they became friends. This man that was like a total stranger. And then the strangest thing happened. He kind of started playing with the little boy. And then other neighbors started to come over and see who this little boy was that was waving to them too. Until pretty soon there were all these people that his mother didn't even know that were coming. And the little boy invited them and they came to see him play basketball and soccer and baseball. And some of them even went with him to his swimming lessons and to his open house for his preschool. And they didn't really know each other. They all lived on the same block, but they hadn't done anything more than just nod. And so, you know, it was strange because when it came time for his birthday party, his mother invited all these senior citizens that were his friends, and they came to the birthday party and had a great time. The pictures of the people, the pictures of the people are, yeah. Pictures of the people were on the refrigerator. Oh, Miriam, do you have two things going maybe?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. I know you take care of it. Well, anyway.
I'll go back to YouTube so you won't see me.
Just so one of the things is making an echo, so we're hearing it. There you go. That's perfect. So anyway, one of the people, you'll see if you get a chance to look at the video, he says, if the world was like this child, what an awesome, awesome place the world would be. And I really love the story. It's kind of a sweet, touching story, you know, but what it is really saying is that, you know, there's this little boy, he's 4 years old. He didn't choose his circumstances. He didn't want his parents to get divorced. He didn't even know really what that meant. Things that were happening that were out of his control. But what could he do? He could wave. And so he waved. And he created this whole village out of people who had been strangers because he waved and said, hey. I really love that story. This is really about the freedom to grow. It's about taking the next true thing that is for you, that you have, and just doing it without being attached to how it's going to all turn out or what does this mean. Because he didn't know he was making a village. He just did the next true thing for him, which was to wave. Now, you know, if a grown man was standing out there waving and everybody saying hi, we would think, oh my goodness. But this was a 4-year-old, and it was perfect for him in the same way that we all have something that's perfect for us, that feels like what we would naturally want to do. And just moving from this wave to another kind, you know, we're in the middle of a heat wave now, and people say that climate change is a hoax, but they're, you know, we're having dangerous levels of heat and humidity in this country and across the world, different places where people are having to try to adapt to how hot it is. And there is something else that's underneath that layer of the heat wave, is another kind of heat, another kind of pressure that's not as easy to talk about as the weather. You can always say, well, it's a nice day or it's raining or something, but there's another kind of heaviness that's underneath that's harder to talk about, and that is how we're feeling about everything that's happening right now, in our country and in countries everywhere, the oppression and the injustice and all the things. I don't have to remind you of any of that. But it's like a kind of a grief, like when something that you depend on, that you think is solid, and all of a sudden it starts to melt or it starts to ooze. It's kind of like an ache, or like a continuous hurting about this thing that's not so easy to talk about unless you're out ranting and raving and blaming the other people and all that stuff, all those things that can happen. And it's triggered by every time there's a breaking news, or something comes up on social media, or some kind of a speech to the nation, and it riles up the feelings again, and it kind of dissipates until the next wave of negativity rolls in. So the freedom that we have is a freedom to grow through whatever it is that's coming. And this growth doesn't wait for things to cool down. It doesn't wait for things to get better. It doesn't wait until everything is already worked out. The cavalry comes in and wins the war. But it's just like the seed doesn't ask the darkness, can I have permission to start growing? The seed just keeps growing in the darkness. It doesn't ask permission of the soil. It's where it is. And it grows right where it is. In New Thought, we know that the things that we think about come about. That what we give our attention to tends to grow in our awareness. The more we pay attention to injustice, the more of that we get. The more we participate in the hatred, the more hatred we feel and experience it. Our thoughts become things. And so really, if you're scrolling through the internet, through the darkest corners of it, like every night before you go to bed, and you're marinating in that outrage and the upset that everybody feels because you want to stay informed, you want to know what's going on. Well, what do you think is growing in you when that's what you're soaking in? And is it something that you want to grow in you? That's a question for you to answer, but I know stuff I'm reading about, I really don't want that. And there's something about us, there's a vibration, within us, and it's affected by other vibrations. It's attracted by other vibrations. And so if we're subjecting us to things that we don't want to be and we don't want to be, then we're kind of like asking for it, and we're getting what we're asking for. So I thought I would just suggest a very simple thing to do, that when you feel that kind of aching pain coming up, and I'm putting my hand here, I'm finding more and more when I'm praying from this space of like making this connection with my heart space. But if you just put a hand or two hands on your heart space, and you just say, something is growing here that I can't see yet, but I trust that all is well. It's not going to fix the other stuff, but it's going to, I'm sure, make a change in you to connect with your heart space and just be aware that you're not sure about what this is happening, but what you do know is that all is well. it's just like a reminder for yourself that the dark isn't the evidence of the absence of light, and that the lack of evidence is not the evidence of lack, and that the dark is a perfect place for a seed of hope or faith or trust to grow, right there in the middle of the darkness. And just to move a little bit closer to home and talking about this opportunity, the freedom that we have to grow. I did have a brother that was 5 years older than me, and I was very, very close to him. And he left here long before I was ready for him to go. And I wrote this piece about him. It's called He Ain't Heavy. And I wrote it because he wasn't. He was a being of light. He was my hero. And when I write about him now, there's two kind of competing thoughts about it. It's just like, okay, just check it off, just write what happened. And then there's another thought, that says, don't mention her brother, because she's likely to cry. Don't know why, but he left her at age 43, long before she could see that he really was free. And I am still likely to cry when I think about him or when I talk about him. And I used to think, well, I must be stuck if I'm still talking about this that happened 40 years ago. But I don't feel that way anymore, because I feel that in my process of growing, I've grown deeper in my love for him. And there's no need to apologize for any tears that might show up. Because when I feel that sense that I want to cry, it's that feeling of loving him. It's not a feeling of being sad or missing him. It's just the deep feeling of love. And I don't know about you, but I cry when things are sad, and I cry when things are beautiful. And when I looked at the little video of the little boy named Roman, I teared up at the end because it was so touching. That is a way that I see myself growing through this process. And then I have another way of being aware of the freedom to grow, and some of you know that I have a sister that has been not well for a long time, and kind of semi-conscious, and I still visit her every week, and I still, of course, love her very much. And I do have a friend who's a healer and very in touch with these kind of things. And she tells me that my sister, her spirit is very busy. And she's taking care of a lot of things, which she always did. And that she is continuing to check in on me and our family and to know how we're doing. And I believe that that's so. So I don't have a tidy explanation for that, for any of it. But I knew, I'm aware of myself thinking, I wasn't supposed to be the one here, the last one here standing. I was willing to be the one to go ahead first and leave space for them. See? That's kind of a touching thought to me. And I'm not saying that grief or sadness or heaviness or hard times or challenging times just dissolve, by praying or by thinking positive thoughts. That's not my experience, that it happens like that. But once a very wise being just whispered to me, she said, love is coming. Not like love used to be coming or love will be coming, but love is coming right here in this moment, right here in the middle of what looks like a mess or a big disappointment. Love is coming in a way that is all encompassing. It is becoming known to me. It is being expressed right where I am. This love that doesn't know anything about feeling embarrassed about tearing up. So we have this freedom to grow, just to keep loving, to keep moving, to keep growing, to keep knowing that this energy that is love, that is all about the energy and the freedom to grow, is everywhere. It's encompassing us. It's embracing us. It's lighting the way for us. Even in the darkest places, we're not consciously aware that we are the beloved of the Holy Presence. Even when some part of us is still standing back, right on the edge of some heartbreak or some disappointment, even there, love is coming into our awareness. It is present here for us. And this freedom to grow may involve something breaking down so that something new can grow. Sometimes that's a part of it. It is an ancient process and it is a current process, and it's about a grace that is evolving, if that makes sense. Something that is coming into being because we are allowing it. But what I know is that no matter what is happening, a divorce, a diagnosis, the fires, the earthquakes, the people leaving before you're ready, no matter what, we always have the freedom to grow through it and to grow in it, and maybe to grow because of it. Talking about the freedom to grow not around things by avoiding them, but the freedom to grow through the things that are happening right now in my life and in your life, because that is what this life is all about, or one of the major things. And who knows but something really miraculous and wonderful has a chance to rise from the ashes of our disappointments. Maybe that's exactly what the ashes are for, to provide a substance that something magical can emerge from. So I recently had a toothache, and I that doesn't happen very often, and it was really bothering me, and I had to, take Advil, whatever, and I went to the dentist, and the tooth looked fine on the outside, and they did the x-ray, and they said, oh, there's an infection. It's underneath the tooth, and you should take antibiotics just to tide you over, but it's going to come back, and you need to pull the tooth. Well, I have all my teeth that I want. And at my age, I'm really not thinking about going and starting to have my teeth pulled. Sylvia's nodding her head. So what was I going to say about this? I'm not saying that I'm going to just disregard what he said. It was very hard for me to hear, and I certainly didn't expect that. But I started thinking, the pain that I was having, and I was not loving it, and I did appreciate that I could take some Advil and it could go away. But I started to think of the pain as being some kind of a sign or a signal to me that something needed my attention. And that was the most effective way to get my attention, was for the pain, because I don't like pain. And then I thought, well, if this is an infection, there must be an outfection, because God is more than a toothache. God is more than any infection. And so I was going to concentrate on the outfection, blessing this outfection so that I got the message now. I know I need to take some care of some things, and I could bless and release it. And then I went to bed earlier than usual. And I started drinking more water than usual. I started walking more than usual. And I thought, maybe what's usual for me is part of the problem. That maybe the things that I'm usually doing aren't supporting me. And then I thought, everything that I do that supports my body being healthy supports my tooth being healthy. And so I believe that that's true. The things that I think that I know it's not the best, but I really do like this. I really don't want to stop doing this. But then when the choice is being healthy, whole and complete in every way, and liking to do, like I know somebody just went through a real serious thing and they said, I'm not drinking coffee anymore. I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. And I really do feel much better. But I'm kind of sad that I can't do, because I really enjoy those things. But, that is a choice that we have in the freedom to grow, the freedom to choose what it is that we really want. And so I started the antibiotics this morning. My body doesn't usually like that because I don't do a lot of that stuff. But I'm doing that, and I am taking my other kind of remedies that I take. And when the dentist told me you just need to pull the tooth, I told him, I believe in healing. He kind of laughed, and I kind of laughed too, because it sounded kind of crazy to say that to a dentist who thought, look, this is what the x-ray shows. But I do believe in healing, and I do know that it's possible, and I do know that anything that I do that's totally good for me is good for every part of me. And then one of my daughters said, Mom, I'm so sorry, show me the tooth, let me see. I said, no, you can't see the tooth. She says, where is it? I said, it's right here. She said, oh, girl, nobody's even going to know. Pull that tooth out. And then I thought, suppose it had been this tooth. That would have been terrible. And so another opportunity for me to be grateful for something, right? Even in the midst of the stuff that's going on. And so I don't have the end of this story. I don't know really how it's going to end. But I do know that I'll be growing through it. And I do know that all is well, regardless. That's the opportunity that the freedom to grow gives us. That anything, at first I thought, oh, okay, I'll have the tooth pulled and then all the stuff that you have to go through and all that. I could do that, but it's not what my spirit wants to do. It's not the truest thing right now for me to do. So I'm in the process, and I'm just sharing with you that I feel myself growing, and I feel myself feeling good about it. It's not about denying a diagnosis. I think it's about thinking about what do I know that's really true? And I don't believe in an infection that you can't heal and get rid of. So maybe you're going through something and you have the opportunity to think, what do I really know that's true about this? Regardless, not to say, don't do what the professionals tell you to do, but to say, honor your own freedom to grow and see what you know of truth. What is the true thing for you? And then do that. Be guided by that. So here's something that I suggest that you can do this week. You know, you can do your version of the wave. The wave was what little Roman could do. He liked to do it. He wanted to do it. Nobody told him, you should stop waving at people you don't know. Think of what is the most true thing for you to do and do that. I'm talking even if it's like texting somebody that you've been thinking about, calling somebody, saying a prayer. Sometimes when I say a prayer, I'm thinking about the people where they are. They're not necessarily close to me. But lately I've been thinking about the people that I'm praying for, whether I know them or not. I'm thinking about just having them come and sit next to me and us being in the prayer together. You could think about somebody, whether you know them or not, that you care about and you're concerned about. You can think about just bringing them into your heart, just to see what that feels like. That could be your version of the wave. And if you can find a reason to wave in some way, your own way, every day, it's not going to fix everything for sure. But I know that it will bless you in some way. You may not even be aware of it. You don't have to know what the outcome is going to be. You don't have to feel that, oh, me doing this is going to fix everything. No, Roman didn't know he was building a village. He was just doing the next best thing, the next true thing for him, which was to wave. So maybe that's a lot of personal stuff to be sharing, but your stuff is personal. And maybe me talking about my stuff makes it possible for you to have another thought about your stuff and who you are and the opportunities that you have. The freedom to choose, the freedom to know, and this week the freedom to grow. So I'm just going to offer a prayer, not because we need one, not because we have to, not because it's protocol, because as Ricky sings in her songs, loving God is wonderful. Loving God is ecstasy. Praying is a way to align and connect ourselves and attune ourselves to the holy presence by whatever name we call that presence. It is the all good, and we are aligning with it. I'm speaking this word of good, this word of harmony, a word of peace. It's a word of healing. It's a word of choosing and of knowing and of growing. It's a word of desire for the highest outpicturing for everybody and for everything. It's a word of unity, of harmony and compassion and sharing and caring. It's a word of letting go of anything that isn't true for us, letting go of anything that is binding, anything that is attracting our attention towards something that we wouldn't ordinarily choose for ourselves. This is a word of knowing the power of love to heal anything. It's a word of knowing that no mistakes have been made in God. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not being punished for anything. There's no such thing in the mind of God. There's only love. There's only an energy that is embracing me and holding me and loving me and lifting me and caring for me. This is true for everyone. There are no special people. The I am is special. The I am of each one of us is as special as possible. And it is all love. And it is reawakening itself, rebirthing itself through and as every one of us. This is so because it is true, and because we accept that it is true for ourselves and for everyone else. We give thanks for this realization of the all good of God, and we just let it be so. And to do that, we just say, and so it is. It means amen. It means ashe. It means hallelujah. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much for letting me share. Thank you so much for being who you are and making this choice to be here. Thank you, Arne, for just lifting us on up with another magnificent song.
Thank you, Reverend Greta. Wow. The story of that little boy just touched my heart. that small thing.
Yes.
Can have such big consequences and effects. Okay. So I want to wrap up with a song by a composer that many of you probably know. He was a singing artist and also a movie star, Bobby Darin. Anybody remember Bobby Darin from back in the day? Mama Sylvia, I know you do. Go.
Dick Clark?
Well, you probably also remember that Bobby Darin wrote a song that became one of the hymns for the anti-war movement, Vietnam in particular, but war in general. And the song is called Simple Song of Freedom. He wrote this song in 1969, and we offer a simple song of freedom. Let's all take a breath together, please. Giving thanks.
Come and sing a simple song of freedom. Sing it like you've never sung before. Let it fill the air. Tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want no war. To the 8 billion people of the world, are you listening? Most of what you read is made of lies. But speaking one to one, ain't it everybody's son? To wake 2 in the morning when we rise. Oh, come and sing the simple song of freedom. Sing it like you've never sung before. Let it fill the air. Tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want no war. Now no doubt some folks enjoy doing battle. Yes they do. They're like presidents, prime ministers, and kings. We're gonna build them a great big shelf where they can fight it out amongst themselves. Oh, leave the people be who just wanna sing. Woo! Come on, y'all. Come and sing a simple song of freedom. Sing it like you've never sung before. Let it fill the air and tell the people everywhere. We the people here don't want no war. I said let it fill the air, telling people everywhere. Oh, that we the people here don't want no war. Simple song of freedom.
Truer words were never spoken. We don't want no war. What's it good for? Absolutely nothing. Whoa, thank you, Arne. I love it. Our theme this month has been all about freedom, and we have one more Sunday to go that we'll be talking about the freedom to be. We've done the freedom to know, freedom to choose, the freedom to grow, freedom to be next Sunday. I'm putting the link again to the video in the chat box so that if you have a chance, just 3 minutes. I mean, it's amazing chance for you to see the little boy in action waving. So this is the time for me to thank you again for coming and to invite you, if you would like to support the ministry, and you can with a financial gift. I'm kind of building the ministry without really being able to see what it can be or how it's going to unfold, kind of moving in the dark with the trust. But if you can contribute, then that supports the ministry continuing. And I'm so grateful for some of you that have been supporting for 6 years now. And it really means a lot to me. It helps me to have a sense that the service means something. It's making changes. It's helping people to live their lives in the way that they're choosing to, in a better way, in a higher way. And anytime you're giving anything, anytime you're sharing with anybody, you are making the world a better place. It's a way of expressing love, is to give of yourself, your time, your energy, your goods, your money. Anytime you're sharing with anybody, if it's just handing somebody $1 on the street, it could make the difference between them eating and not eating. And so I just encourage you in any way that you're called this week, as you're doing your version of the wave, whatever that looks like and is right for you. Anytime that you get to wave by sharing with somebody, supporting somebody, even just giving a word or a prayer, it can make the difference, the whole big difference in somebody's life. So thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for your prayers. And try that thing about maybe just, if you're feeling that the way you want to wave is to pray for somebody, think about inviting them, like to sit next to you, or inviting them into your heart. That's a tremendous prayer. And you won't be able to see what's happening, but something magnificent is happening whenever you're sharing love. I do want to thank the people on Facebook and YouTube for coming today, for being here. I'm so grateful for those of you that joined. Oh, look who's here! A trio of friends! Yay! Arvella and Sachi and Veronica. Surprise! Gogo says, who's that? Sylvia, can you see our soul sisters over there? Miriam. Arne, thank you. You are wonderful. Arne is coming back again next week, which is a real blessing. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Bless you, everybody. Bless one another. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next Sunday. God willing. Bye for now.
Love you. Love you.
Love you. Thank
Hi,
you.
Sylvia. Go.
Hilda, thank you. Miriam, thanks for coming. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.